Hey folks, Rob Wolf here. Thanks for stopping by. And I'm guessing at this point you have interest in learning more about cost to serve, or more importantly, taking the next steps. How do I get Rob to do this? Okay, so I would say first thing, let's talk to make sure that it sounds like my program could work. Because honestly, some companies don't have the information and I won't be able to help them out. But if it looks like I'd be able to help you out, what I would do is I would send you some forms to put your information in there. And I would do it by Google Drive. It'd be password protected. And then when you fill the information out and you click, share drive, it comes back to me. So it'd be, password protected. And then, I would enter the information. Now at that point, that's where I would send you a link to pay for the $100. Okay, let me at least get that. But I'm so confident that there's going to be savings that you want the report when I'm done. And it could be either $1,000 up to $2,500, depending on your SKU count. Okay, so let me share you a couple screens, or let me share with you a couple screens. And it's fairly straightforward. So the first one is going to be the inventory. Okay, you're going to upload these items right here that I need about your inventory. Now, obviously, you're going to have more than 10 items, but don't worry, it could be 2,000, 3,000 items, but I'll need each item, what your standard cost is. And if you pay different amounts, depending on your bulk discount, if you have that, you'll have to put a standard cost in there. I'll need dimensions of your inventory, okay? Whatever your on-hand quantity is that day, that's what it's going to be. Days of supply, we can talk about this. I highly encourage you get the days of supply for each item. And I can talk to you about how to do that as long as you know what you've been selling within a certain amount of period of time. We can do this for each item, because I'm going to guess your company, if you're a small to mid-sized company, doesn't have it broken down by each item. And honestly, I worked at big companies. They didn't have it broken down by each item. Okay. And then I'll need the sales price. And again, if you charge different prices to different customers, you're going to have to come to an agreement on one price. Okay. Then for the operations. So here are some helpful hints for you to gather as far as your area. Now, like I said, I worked for big companies that this was part of my goals and responsibilities to manage the cost of my department, because the accountant, controller, what do you want to call them, they had these costs segregated into my department. If that's the case, this will be an easy exercise for you. If not, then you can do it one of two ways. You can go through and see what you are paying each year. I would get with your accountant and just ask them, what are the costs in my department? And just explain what you're doing. And then you'd be able to get the costs in there. And the other one is this, the total cubic feet of storage. I will say this is probably going to take a little time, okay? Because what I encourage people is, don't do the cubic footprint of your entire facility, okay? Because what we're trying to get to is, what is it costing us to have the inventory come in the warehouse, basically, sitting there and then out the door. Okay, we're not focused on the bathrooms, the aisles, and other areas where we're not holding the inventory. Okay, so there's two ways you can do it. If you want to do the quick fix, you could probably get by with, okay, what's my cubic foot of the whole entire building? And take a percent of that. Maybe 50% is racking, bulk storage. Maybe there's some special areas, and that's it. Or the other way is, you actually go out to the warehouse and measure the racks and measure the bulk area. Now, if you're going to do that, which would be a more precise area, I encourage you to get one of these laser finders, and then go from there. Be a quicker way to do it. So that's what I would need. And again, we'll talk about this. Hit me up and I'd be more than happy to talk to you and set up a time if you want to do a Zoom or just on the phone, whatever you're more comfortable with. And then once I get the information and I get the $100 from you guys, and the payment would be, you could pay me with PayPal. Heck, if you want to mail me a personal check, I don't care. I'm not a big corporation. I'm a freelancer. Or I can send you a Stripe link. You can look that up on the internet. Stripe is the payment that I would use, or Zelle if you want to pay me that way. Once I get the $100 and I get going to work, then I would call you and I would tell you the results. Now, I tell you verbally that you've got this much in, you're losing this much money for total. You're losing 12% of your items. You're losing money. I would give you some information, and then if you wanted to, pay me for what I've got for you, then I would send it to you in an Excel sheet, and I would give you some pie charts and stuff like that if you want to take a look at it and go from there. And then if you want to do this every 6 months or every year, then I could do it every year for you and go from there. So hopefully that gives you a good thumbnail of what would be needed for me to help you out here and get you going. But like I said, just give me a call and I'd be more than happy to walk you through it and go from there. All right, folks. Thanks.